What's up guys, and welcome to a 10-minute tour of Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas. In this video I'll be giving you a full tour of the ship, seeing all the important areas and giving you some helpful tips along the way. We'll start here in the back of the ship at the Aqua Theatre. This is where you'll see all the diving shows. Really great show, so be sure you reserve your tickets ahead of time so you don't get stuck without a seat. Moving along, you see Johnny Rockets here on the right, great place for a free breakfast. Looking up, that's where all the sports stuff is, and we'll be stopping by there later on in this tour. As you see all this shopping on each side, just a reminder that this is for-fee shopping. So if you want an ice cream or maybe some candy, just remember that this will be for an extra cost. There you see the Carousel, another great thing to do, but maybe do it the first day so it's not too busy. And along here, moving in, you see the Hotdog Stand over there on the right. Really good place for a quick lunch if you need to grab something on the go. Never a huge line over there, we really enjoyed it on our cruise. As we move inside here, you'll be seeing one of the 2 elevator lobbies on the ship. There are 24 elevators in total, so if you're not a big fan of stairs, there are certainly options for you. And looking up in this lobby really gives you a sense of how big this ship really is. Moving on now into the Royal Promenade, which is really just an indoor mall on a cruise ship, as crazy as that sounds. Right here you see the Rising Tide Bar. Pretty interesting little concept there, a bar that goes up and down between the Royal Promenade and Central Park. Now going down the main staircase here, and this is a great location for a group picture if you're interested at some point in your week. They do provide photographers, but it does get busy quickly. Now looking here on the right, this is where you'll be entering the ship on your first day of your cruise. The embarkation process was actually quite smooth considering the sheer amount of people on the ship, so credit to Royal Caribbean on that. Now looking here, you see a group there doing a little activity in the Royal Promenade. You'll see a ton of that throughout the week. Lots going on, always something to do here on the ship, and we'll see further examples of that as we move on along this tour. Right here is where they do most of their sales here in the Royal Promenade. It does get kind of mobbed here when there is a good deal going on, so be sure you plan accordingly. Now one of the coolest features here about the Royal Promenade is these skylights you see above that actually go into Central Park. It's pretty crazy to think that you're on deck 5 of a 17-deck ship, but you can still see the sky. Now here's the Amber Theater at the very end of the hallway right there. This is where you'll see shows like Mamma Mia and Blue Planet, as well as other events throughout your week. I said it back at the Aqua Theatre, and I'll say it again. Royal Caribbean's entertainment is fantastic, and now we'll move into Entertainment Place, where you'll see even more things right there. Blaze Nightclub on the right, if you're interested in that kind of stuff. And moving forward here into the Ice Theater, it's Studio B. This is where they do all kinds of things, most specifically ice shows, but also some public skating. Again, another crazy thing to do in a cruise ship. At the time of filming this, they're actually doing a dance class, just shows you the versatility of this room. But I certainly recommend the ice show. The performers were great, and it was definitely a good way to get out of the sun on a hot day. Now moving forward here, you see Comedy Live over on the right. Kind of a small space, so if you're interested in a comedy show, be sure to reserve your tickets early. And it's a similar situation over here in the Jazz Club as well. Again, great performers, but not a ton of space in there. Here you see the second elevator lobby, another 12 elevators available here. And then looking at the Amber Theater again, going back to Mamma Mia. You know, I'm a huge fan of the show, so I might be a little biased, but I personally thought it was an excellent performance of it, one of the best I've ever seen. Now I've got a lot of stairs to climb, so let's take a look at one of my favorite parts of the ship, the sun deck. Now it's kind of tricky to get here. You have to go up on floor 14 and then go all the way through a hallway of staterooms, but the view you get once you're here is worth it. It's a deck built on the roof of the captain's bridge with great views both in front of and back towards the ship. It's actually a great place to be if you want some quiet space because not many people really know about it. So an excellent place to go up, get some free time to yourself, and maybe even take a few pictures. Now 5 flights of stairs later, we are here on deck 8, which is the site of Central Park. We're going to take a quick walk through here, and this is one of the more famous parts of the ship just based on how unique it is. All this vegetation you see going in here, from the bushes on the ground to the trees sprouting up, it's all alive. So they have a full team here that takes care of this area every single day, and it's really a great place to see some nature even when you're in the middle of the ocean. Right here you see one of those skylights I was talking about earlier, and on each side are some of the specialty restaurants on the ship, including Royal Caribbean classics like Chops Grill and 150 Central Park. Right here is Park Cafe, known for their roast beef, and for good reason, it was excellent. On embarkation day, they are open, so if you're not interested in getting in the massive lines up at the Windjammer Marketplace for the buffet, you can come on down here, get a nice sandwich, and enjoy the peace and quiet in Central Park. Ahead of us here is the top of the Rising Tide Bar, so when it's not in the Royal Promenade, it's right up here in this glass enclosure. And to the right of us is one of these specialty restaurants I was talking about earlier as well. There is a significant fee that comes with these restaurants, but if you're a couple celebrating a special occasion or maybe a family looking to try something different than the main dining room, then these could be good options for you. Here we are at the rear elevator lobby once again, and just to help your orientation, we are pretty much back to the boardwalk now where we started. Right here you see Dazzles. This is where they have anything from private functions to live music. We saw a great band here, another testament to how good the entertainment is on the Allure of the Seas. And now moving back up several stairs, I'll have a chance to talk about another point of interest, and after seeing all those restaurants in Central Park, I'm feeling a little hungry, so let's talk about some dining. My family opted to do the My Time dining option, which meant we were in the American Icon Grill, and while the food was good, it was really the servers that made this experience so special. Right here you see the servers having a little bit of fun with the guests, and it was really great to get to know our servers and hear some of the amazing stories they had to tell. Now going a completely different direction, I want to talk about an interesting option back in the Park Cafe where we just were. So I wasn't a huge fan of the roast beef on a hard roll, so I decided to ask for it on a cheese panini, and they actually made it for me. So there's a tip for you. If you want the cheese panini over the hard roll sandwich, well, go for it. And in a broader sense, just keep in mind that their main goal is to make the customer happy. So if you have a different idea of something that you might want, don't be afraid to ask for it, because the worst thing they can do is say no. Now here we are on deck 16 at the Windjammer Marketplace. This is the main buffet on the ship, so anything you may want from a breakfast early in the morning to maybe a snack on the go or even a dinner if you're not interested in the main dining room, this is where you can come to get that kind of food. It's pretty much always open, but there are certain times where it gets kind of busy, so just make sure you're picking your spots wisely. Now we'll head outside onto the pool deck. They have 4 different pools on the ship and we'll be passing by all of them, and I'll be giving you some recommendations along the way for the best places to sit on sea days. Here's the first one actually, right underneath this set of stairs, or really any other set of stairs on the pool deck. We found this one day kind of by accident, but it's a great place where you can either be in the front in the sun or also sitting back in the shade. Certainly a great area to be spending your sea days. Now as we head up here on the top deck, you'll notice a couple things. First off, as you can see from that lady's shirt, it does get windy up here, especially with some of those Caribbean winds going through at certain parts of the year. So if you're going to have any belongings up on this deck, maybe a magazine or some article of clothing, just keep in mind that there is always a chance that they can blow away, so you might want something to weight it down, like maybe some shoes or a heavy bag. Anyway, moving along here, you see tons of chairs up here. A great space, of course, if you're into sunbathing, but of course that does make it one of the more crowded places on the ship, especially during sea days, so if you want a little more privacy or maybe some peace and quiet, then this top deck might not be the place for you. Looking across there, you see the main pool on the opposite side of the ship, as well as the beach pool that's pretty much right underneath us. The beach pool features one of those zero entry designs where the water comes right up to your chair, so if you're going to sit in one of the seats, just keep in mind that you may not want a bag on the ground, as it will probably get soaked. Looking up to the left here, you see a private area for guests staying in suites, and then down to the right is one of the more interesting hot tubs you'll ever see hanging out over the side of the cruise ship. Pretty interesting. And now we'll move here into the solarium. This is an adults only area. It's 16 and up in here, so as you'd expect, it's certainly more relaxed and peaceful in here, so if you're looking to get some reading done or just get out of the mayhem of the pool decks, this is certainly a great place to be. Up here they have a few dining options as well, the Solarium Bar and the Solarium Bistro, which turns into the Brazilian steakhouse at night. Great options there. Of course, on the way by you have to get some Purell, very clean on this ship. Royal Caribbean certainly did a very nice job in that regard. Looking down there into the elevator lobby, holy cow, that's a long way. And now from here in the bow, we'll head all the way back to the stern, going the distance of the ship from the solarium in the front all the way to the wave riders in the back. Coming outside the doors now, you'll see the second hot tub located exactly across from the one we passed by earlier. Another stairway up to that private area for suite guests I was talking about earlier. And now moving forward, we see on the left will be the main pool. This is where they have their lounge chairs set up in stadium-style seating, and as you can see on the right side of your screen, that's what it looks like from the beach pool on the opposite side. But don't let the stadium seating make you think that this is the sports pool, because I got that confused early on, and I was messed up for the rest of the week. Ahead of us, you see the Windjammer Marketplace once again, where we came from earlier, and this is actually where this top deck ends, because the Windjammer juts out over the water. Speaking of that for a second, there are some great views from inside the Windjammer. They really positioned it well, so credit to Royal Caribbean for that. You can sit facing the sports area in the back, the pool area in the front, or of course facing the ocean on each side. Coming down the stairs here, we'll go into the designated smoking area, so if you do smoke, they have plenty of space for you with all these tables you see on the right. Over to the left here is the sports pool, as I referred to earlier, tons of seating there, and this is where all the main activities happen. You see right there on the left side of your screen, little aqua aerobics class going on. They do all kinds of activities over here, from crew versus guests volleyball tournaments to a classic belly flop competition. That was definitely a good time. And now we'll head down this covered walkway here all the way down to the sports area. Now to the right you see plenty of seating, but not the traditional lounge chairs. They got a different kind of chair, and they really don't mind if you move the chairs wherever you like, so if you want to take one of these chairs somewhere else or maybe make a little group, they really don't care, and it'll be set up the normal way the next morning. This is just another example of how accommodating the crew truly was on our trip on the Allure of the Seas. Now here we are in the sports area. Right there you see the mini golf course, and certainly not a bad course considering it's on a cruise ship. Over to the left you see the end of the zip line, another cool experience to do on the ship, but just keep in mind that if you want to do some of these more adventurous activities like the zip line, the rock climbing wall, or the wave rider ahead of us, you will have to fill out a waiver at some point, so either get that done at home before your cruise or factor in some time to do it on board. Here we come now to the first wave rider here on the right. This one's for surfing, while the one on the opposite side of the ship is for bodyboarding and kneeboarding. As you see here, someone getting the hang of it. The staff at each flow rider did a really good job of helping people learn how to do it, but also keeping the line moving efficiently, so credit to them for that. Over here is pretty much the way back of the ship, so you can look down to the Aqua Theatre below, as you see there on the left side of your screen. Over here is the second flow rider that I was talking about earlier for kneeboarding and bodyboarding. This is generally used for beginners, so if you want to see some good wipeouts, this is definitely the place to be. As you see it there, they have a little divider in the middle just to keep the lines moving a little bit quicker. And now we'll head down the stairs here to the sport court. This place doubles as a basketball court and a soccer field. Right now they were doing a soccer tournament, and as you see there earlier in the morning, my brother and I got outside, did some shooting. Hey look, I finally made a shot. This place is usually pretty busy during the day, so if you want to get the court to yourself, be sure to come right when it opens at 8 a.m. The last stop on our tour here is the Wipeout Cafe with food like hot dogs, hamburgers, and of course free ice cream. In the mornings, this is another one of those lesser known breakfast places, so if you want to get out of the hustle and bustle of the Windjammer Marketplace, this could be the place to come. Over here on the left, of course, is the ping pong tables, plenty of tables there to play. But that will conclude this tour. I hope it was entertaining and informative, and if you have any other questions, feel free to check out my other videos or comment in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.